And welcome back to Judgment. So before we get into the meat of today's video, we're gonna go hang out with one more potential friend of Yagami's. But to start with this, we have to go up to the Mahjong parlor on the 4th floor of the building that Apple Pie is in. So we just gotta play a quick game of Mahjong. I'm gonna play at the easy table. I'm also just going to cut this out because it was like 5 minutes of me trying to figure out how to play this game. These games have some extensive documentation on how to play Mahjong. There's like, I think the Yakuza 0 version has like a 43-page instruction manual, like in the game.
Sick.
Anyway, once you finish your first game of Mahjong up here, this lady shows up just kind of randomly.
She has a name.
Yeah, I know, but her name was not on screen when I said that. Yuriko Tachibana here, no relation to any other Tachibanas you may or may not be thinking of from the series.
That's
as
false.
What? Sorry, what?
I said that's false. There's no way she's not related.
Tachibana here has a brand new Mahjong parlor at Nakamichi Alley with some weird wear me rule or something.
Isn't that considered like super rude to go into like a quote unquote rival establishment? They'd be like, hey, come to my parlor.
Yeah, that's kind of what Yagami's thinking right now.
I mean, there's ballsy, and then there's just that seems incredibly rude. Like a big faux pas.
Yeah. Alright, so here it is. It's like 2 streets behind Yagami's office, I think.
Excuse me.
Don't you just hate it when they put you have to like work their name into the product?
I mean, I get it sometimes, but So the wear me rule is actually warame, and it's a high risk, high return rule kind of thing.
Hmm?
So are those boxes of Oshibo stuff Mahjong sets, or?
I think those are either bottles of water or towels.
It's me.
Like with the other game Mahjong, I cut out this set of games because I played for like an hour trying to figure out how the fuck the warame rule worked. So,
easy.
okay,
Break the wall.
I'm just gonna explain it here. The warame rule is basically, before every round, a pair of dice are rolled, and then that roll determines who has the warame. And that's basically it. If you win, your score is doubled. So, to be friends with her, you gotta win with the warame, as the warame or whatever.
Huh.
And if you lose, I think you just can't, you're just straight up out or something, or you lose a lot of points. Like I said, I spent like an hour playing this, and I was ready, or I was ready to cheer when I finally won. But yeah, we're friends with her now, and I never have to do this again.
So, what do you get for being your friend?
I get more people on my friends list.
Well, more person, because she's only one.
Yes, but it's a bigger number. That's all I care about.
Sick.
I think she has more special rules you can play with, but fuck that. I'm not playing more Mahjong. Anyway, more to the point, let's hang out with Amane again. I'm glad she's taken our last hangout to heart, I guess.
I like to think that Yagami is. Really, the destiny was that Yagami was gonna stab that guy. I really hope he's careful. Wouldn't want a spicy knife to the gut. Much less a super spicy one.
Do they still make those in 2018?
You have to. It's just.
I mean,
it's really just a knife coated with California Reaper.
oh yeah, absolutely. Like, there's no way it isn't. Anyway, let's go hang out with Amane again, so to ward off that cow some more.
Look,
And while we're at it, let's see how she looks in that kimono. Why not?
Look, she just doesn't want you being a part of the Hell's Angels.
I don't blame her.
With their leather cuts and everything.
Alright, off to Theater Square.
Yagami-san.
Well, I can tell she's not a keeper. Socks with sandals? Gross.
I think that might be a traditional Japanese style. I don't understand why it is, but I think it is.
Look, do you want splinters in your feet when you're walking around? The answer is no.
Come on.
Fair?
Yes.
Look, when it comes to wooden shoes, I'll take all the comfort I can get, even if it's socks on sandals. Can't wait for someone to argue about how those aren't a type of sandal, so they can't be socks and sandals.
I would call bullshit if these aren't considered sandals.
That's true.
Remember, a hot dog is a faux pas footwear.
That was not where I thought you were going with that. Honestly, I have no idea what kind of gifts Amane likes. I'm not 100% sure I ever managed to find something she really likes. I guess she really like the hoops. Okay.
What you need is
How
a
lovely.
magic 8-ball.
Yeah, I think she'd really be into that, actually.
Maybe a pair of dice.
Oh, right, I actually completely forgot she, puts on the earrings if you give them to her. Kind of a neat touch.
It's alright.
Anyway, we're gonna go play darts with her. We're just gonna skip right over the game of darts, because I don't think we need to see me playing 301 again.
Yagami-san.
This was probably a bad episode to try to record before eating dinner. Now I just want Korean barbecue.
I feel like this is always the issue when walking around Kamurocho.
Yeah, you just can't get away from all these delicious looking restaurants or stands.
But I will blame you for it, for sure.
I blame me for this too.
Good.
Amane, sometimes you just gotta take life by the horns.
Well, that's one way to out yourself as a vegan.
What's up?
Yeah, that probably would have been a good sign for Yagami to just kind of backpedal on out of here.
Huh?
Instead, we're gonna force her to taste the suffering of animal meat.
What?
Yeah, not that I really have a problem with vegans, but taking a vegan to a barbecue joint seems like a major faux pas.
Leave me be.
Just a little bit, you know?
Yeah. I mean, realistically, it's not like we understand the language of plants, so who's to say that plants don't feel pain?
I see.
I mean, that's always kind of on the front of my mind too. Like, I'm pretty sure I've heard many a time in science classes that plants have feelings and are also living things as well.
Well, I mean, living things is obviously something you can't argue. Whether they feel pain or not, I mean, I guess it depends more on your concept, or what your concept of feeling and or pain is.
True.
Yes.
Then I can bring up something like how, I don't know, peppers and onions release gases when they're being cut into as a defense mechanism.
Right. I mean, I guess the whole point is that you shouldn't base what you eat specifically on whether or not something does or does not feel pain.
Right.
If you told me that you chose not to eat poultry because of the appalling circumstances under which poultry is raised and butchered, then yeah, you got a way more, in my opinion, point towards objecting to that sort of business.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that.
And then, you get the realistic portion of do whatever you want. Just don't much like religion, nobody really wants you to preach to
Very
them
well.
in an obnoxious fashion.
Yeah, that's kind of where I think vegans get most of their bad rap from.
Yeah.
Just the ones who will not stop judging and shaming you over your decisions.
Look, at least they're not as bad as the raw foodie guys.
Who now?
The raw foods people.
Huh?
The ones who
I don't think I know of any.
Oh man, yeah. So the group, I mean, you can find them anywhere really, but they only eat raw foods.
Huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
can't say it's very sanitary. It's like it's not as bad, but it's like people who think that raw water is like makes sense.
What?
Yeah, trust me. Like I don't know like
Very well.
all about raw food, like the appeal for raw foods. I just know that that's a portion of it where cooking, in certain instances, cooking certain foods takes out some of the benefits of eating said food, and so they look at it as raw foods being a superior way to consume.
Unbelievable.
But like, in doing so, you also run the risk of like sickness because we cook stuff for it to be edible for us.
I'm sorry. I'm still thinking about the whole raw water thing.
So raw water is like people who have, it's generally like conspiracy theorists really, who like think that chlorine and other products that governments and cities and towns use in water supplies.
Oh, like fluoride. Okay.
Yeah, so like fluoride and all that sort of stuff that we put in water because we're trying to sanitize the water, which is why like you can drink the water out of your tap and not be sick because it's clean water. That's why you can clean stuff with it and so on. It's not 100% just because of the soap, right? So
Right.
So there's a bunch of people, and I don't know really how we're getting onto talking about this in this video, but
Very well.
so you have people who want to drink raw water basically don't filter the water, right? So all the particulates that you would find, like let's say you just like took a bottle and just grabbed water from a stream, that
Thank
water
you
is not
so
necessarily clean. It kind of depends on the stream and the consistency of like the makeup and composition of the streams, like the water bed. If there's a lot of sediments, it's getting like naturally filtered, right?
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, so depends on a lot of factors, but people will take water from these streams, not necessarily filter them in any way, shape, or form. They drink it, and then they think they're being better, or that it's better for their person. And I guess the argument is that by filtering it, you're taking out what some people would see as like essential minerals. You know, it's kind of like a fucked up way of looking at a chart that says like, what is a human being composed of? And it's like, oh, you have, milligrams of zinc, and you have this much water in you, and you have this and that and the other thing, and calcium and all that. Like if you took a person and ground them down to their base level, to only like their chemical makeup, I think
You're an interesting guy.
what was his name? Carl Sagan, I think, had a really good segment in Cosmos where he talked about it, where he's like, and this is obviously like, I think 1980s money and stuff, but if you reduce a person to their base elements, you'd only be worth about like 250, or like there's some number, but it was very small. So this is why we also don't measure the worth of a person by their specific makeup, because it makes no sense.
Right.
So anyways, because a person is composed of these minerals, it's like, oh, well, I have zinc in me, so I can drink pure zinc. Like, it doesn't make sense, because when you try to think about it, it rationally doesn't make sense. But some people out there think that these minerals and whatever that are in water are supposed to be there, and therefore you should drink it. It's like looking at your family dog and being like, well, I served it raw meat. Yeah, you don't go around eating raw meat because it's unsanitary. Dogs have evolved to be able to consume such things.
Right, and we've probably lost our ability to do so.
Mm-hmm. Just look at another good example is pasteurized versus unpasteurized milk. Some people cannot.
Oh yeah, that's a good one actually.
Yeah, some people can't drink unpasteurized milk, or it might be like most people. Whatever. Point is that we've evolved in a way that we are no longer capable, or generally no longer capable of drinking unpasteurized milk. And you see the reverse in certain animals because, again, that's how they've evolved.
Right.
So,
And we can see this evolution of a man that wants to eat beef.
Just gonna eat the entire store out.
Give me beef.
someone! Food!
I mean, I'll be honest, if I ever saw somebody, like, shout food at me, I'd probably be really scared.
Yeah, wouldn't you? I was really tempted to pick the other option, but... Real glad Kasai can't even remember us.
I mean, considering his
Bullshit!
one goal in life seems to be to eat food.
True, we're
Not
not
that
a
bad.
delicious snack.
Again, not that that's a bad thing, but I wouldn't want to interrupt them. Dude, how do you not know about Bartholomew, the food god?
You'd think he'd be worshipping him, you know, on the daily.
Also, I don't feel like the god of food would be concerned about paying for said food. Like, I feel like that's more the god of small business owners, or or the god of patronage, or...
Well, at least we've got Amane here to back up our bullshit.
You will meet a terrible fate.
It's inevitable. I've seen a vision.
Hold on. Is gluttony the lowest circle of hell?
No, the low circle is like, I don't remember the word. I know it's for, like, betrayal.
Food!
I know gluttony is a circle, though. I want to say it's, like, 6th?
A guide to Dante's Circles of Hell.
Oh, no, it's 3rd. Why did I think 6th? The fuck is the 6th one, then? First is limbo, then it's lust, then gluttony.
Then greed, anger, heresy, violence, fraud, and treachery.
That's the word I was trying to think of. Treachery.
Yeah. I mean, betrayal. That's the same thing.
Yeah, I know, but there was a fancy word for it, and I couldn't remember.
Oh, Calamity remains.
Amane, are you sure you're not just looking at this giant cow statue behind us?
It's weird when Soul Calibur has a better story for their Calamity than this game.
I've said it before, but I really dislike Amane's relationship storyline. We'll get to that in 2 or 3 more episodes, I think. On the
Yagami-san?
plus side, I guess, it's good that we're teaching Amane that people have the power to change fate, like it's not set in stone.
I feel like that's such an attack against her character that it's weird the game would ever bring it up. Like, it kind of contradicts her entire character.
I feel like
No, but think of all the other quests where it's like, oh, well, you're gonna have a calamity where someone attacks you or whatever. It's like you couldn't just be like, well, I'm just gonna go back to my office, huh, sucker, and then avoid the calamity. No, it was always a guaranteed thing.
You know, when you put it like that, yeah, it does seem kind of weird to shoot her that message in.
Like, I guess my point is that the game railroads you with the earlier quests, and then brings out well, people can change, and your fate isn't always decided. And it's like, why are you telling me this now?
Yeah, it would have been nice if we could actually, you know, act on that for the requests we did for her. Well, we kind of prevented the fire calamity, actually. Now that I think about it. Yes.
You know, every time I try to respond like that after what I think is a successful date, I just get stop talking to me, you creep.
You gotta be a little less strong with how you word that. Just say something like, I had fun.